Welcome to the North Shore 9 podcast, episode number 137, a member of the Pod Hub Network. I am Ryan Alexander. Along with me, as always, is Anthony DiNardo. DiNardo, what up?
What up, Ryan? How you doing, man?
Not too bad. Just enjoying some snow and some 20-degree weather up here.
Nice.
So enjoy it where you're at.
I am. It was in the 70s today, so no complaining.
Yeah, forget you.
Hey, I mean, listen, Ryan, it's only a couple months away till spring training. If your ass would get down here, you can enjoy it too.
I could. But no, what is going on? It's been sort of a fun week on Twitter, sort of, after your tweet that went down the tubes. I thought you learned. I thought you knew better. Don't tweet about attendance.
No, I like to poke the bear a little bit.
Oh, I definitely do. As I liked all my tweets about the what's with the Astros? Teams like the Astros and Yankees going to arbitration over like $500,000 and stuff.
Stop it.
They're just cheap Astros and Yankees, man.
Yep. I mean, it's one thing when it's only $30,000, which was the big conversation around Garrett Cole. That's all we're off by, right? $30,000 between the two sides.
It wasn't even. You talking about the time when we gave Cole the role minimum raise?
Yeah.
We gave
him like $510 instead of $540. I think is what the difference was.
Right,
and everyone's going like berserk over it.
Yep.
How's this guy the cheapest signed player? He's making millions. Well, that's not how it works. First off, but second off, like I said, it's only like $30,000. And here's the what was the largest one? The biggest difference was it Nola? I think. They're off by like $2 million. Is it? Because
isn't Arenado in the Rockies going to arbitration because he wants like $20 million?
Well, I'll put it this way: that makes sense. I guess percentage wise.
Oh,
I think like Nola won 6 and they're offering 4. It might have been,
yeah. But it's like with the Astros, like Carlos Correa wants like $5 million, and they're like, no, we only want to give you 4.3. It's like, geez, right. I mean, this is like their all-star, superstar shortstop. But all right, that's cool.
Yep. But I mean, it makes sense. It adds up. That way at the end of his contract, he's asking for 20, like Arenado. You know what I mean? When it could end up being only 17. So it plays down the line. But right, the cheap Yankees, Ryan, the cheap Astros, the cheap Phillies who want to spend stupid money.
That's right. But no, another week of the free agency goes by, the offseason. And I mean, I guess we had the signings are trickling in. Harper and Manny Machado are still out there. And a mystery team has come now into the Manny talk. So is it the Pirates, DiNardo? Could you see Manny on the banks of the Allegheny this summer?
Ryan, I think that'll be a mystery. I think that will continue to be a mystery.
Was that you that tweeted about how does the mystery team sign them then?
Yeah.
If they're mysterious.
This mystery team's got to reveal themselves. How do you think you're going to sign a player if you don't, reveal yourself? Continue to be a mystery amongst all of us. Let's put it this way. It seems as if it's down, like you said, to the White Sox and Phillies. The Phillies met with Bryce Harper. All indications are pointing to the Phillies being the leaders in the Bryce Harper sweepstakes.
Talk about the offseason and rumors and things like that. The report, like, they're in the lead, that means nothing to me. Like, how are they in the lead?
Like, self-appointed.
That's what I mean. Like, what source gave that? Was it somebody with the Phillies? Does that mean okay, they gave him maybe the highest offer? Doesn't necessarily mean he's taking it, So,
and here's the thing too. So if it comes from Harper's camp, how much do you believe it? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's look at the agent you're speaking of, Scott Boras.
Right. You could say, the Phillies are in the lead.
Only in favor for him and his player.
Right.
So he's going to say that to make the Nationals step up, or the White Sox or mystery team to step up. Exactly. If there's one on Harper as well.
Exactly. It's ridiculous. So
I mean, how much do I believe that? Not really. But they had a 5-hour meeting with him in Vegas, so they did go meet him again. I haven't heard of any other teams lately going out to meet him. He did meet with the Nationals. The Nationals upped their offer from $300 million. They said significantly. So I don't know, but I'll put it this way: I don't think that if the Phillies sign Bryce Harper, that gets them out of the Machado sweepstakes at all. I mean, as a matter of fact, it might heighten them because when Ruga was on NS9 Live this week, the point he made, was, why go to Chicago and rebuild, which I can understand. In the Phillies, I don't know if they're really there. I mean, they're definitely at the end of the rebuild, but, do you look at them and say, okay, this is a World Series team? But if Bryce Harper goes to them and now Machado comes to them, does that make them more enticing?
Yeah.
So, I think the Bryce Harper signing could maybe help to get a Machado in there.
It could, unless like one of those.
If they're
two
prepared
guys,
to make, pay stupid money, which is what they said they're going to do.
Right. It comes out, we're going to give stupid money out. Could you imagine if Nutting ever said that? Nutting would be like, we're going to give
and then he signs Jordan
money.
Lyles.
Yeah, and then he adds like
signing.
$5 million in payroll. But that also could work against them though. If like say one of them signs with the Phillies or whatever, maybe the other one wants to be the superstar, the big guy, the only fish. So who knows?
Could be.
I mean, you don't know.
Be.
I don't know these guys. I've never sat down and discussed anything with these two, so I don't know. We don't know what these guys think. We don't know what they're looking for, and I don't necessarily think. I mean, if Harper goes to the White Sox, the White Sox are, they've been rebuilding.
Well, I don't think the White Sox are on Harper though, and I do think I said that earlier, so I take that back.
They were though, weren't they?
It seems like that. Yeah, they were, but I guess their main focus is Machado.
Right.
I think they felt that they're not in on Harper.
But most of the White Sox prospects, the high prospects that they got in, Moncada and Kopech and Giolito. I mean, these guys are all in the majors, if not right there at this point. So if you add one of those guys,
are they performing?
Well,
that's the other aspect
they're
too,
young. They're young players. I mean, you're going to have struggles, but
Juan Soto ain't seen no struggle.
What's that?
I said Juan Soto ain't seen no struggle.
That's right. I still think Harper's going to go back to the Nationals, but I don't know.
You did call it. You did say that. Then it was like 2 weeks after you said that where they came out and said that, they've offered him a bigger contract. So it's interesting. It's interesting. But with the whole Machado sweepstakes, I don't know, man. If it's really coming down to the White Sox, the Phillies, and a mystery team, I probably would pick the Phillies over the White Sox too. And if they do get Harper again, that might help a Machado signing. Whoever the mystery team is, I don't know, man. Like, what are they even offering? Is it really the Pirates? I don't know. I doubt it.
There's a lot of people on Twitter that believe it.
I like to be optimistic. So, I would love to find out that it's the Pirates, but
you could pack PNC.
Yeah.
You might as well just
talk about that.
Well, we might as well just start with it.
Is that where we're going with this?
Shit.
You've been setting me up for 8 minutes and 7 seconds, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, we might as well just start with it because we're talking about Machado and all that. But, yeah, you had to go. I was going to say I had a little bit of a bone to pick with you.
The tweet.
He just killed our mentions. DiNardo tweets out about attendance and basically you can talk about it, but alluded to the fact that, even in their height at 2015 with McCutchen as MVP and the Pirates winning 98 games, even at the best, the Pirates were 16th or 15th or 16th in total
15th,
attendance.
Yeah.
So, I get it, but I saw that tweet and I was like, I just groaned. I was like, RIP our mentions, because you're just going to bring out everybody and their brother in the woodwork, and then you got Evil Neil jumping in and giving percentages and how that's not the right ratio or the right way to look at it.
Started with Wagner.
You got to look at
actually.
WBC plus minus XG divided by 3 to figure it out, and all this bull crap.
Yeah. Let's take it back. So I'm the one that put out the tweet, and here's the reason why. So let's start this story. Okay, here's how it all began. So the Machado news is coming out. People are talking about Machado, and of course we're guilty about it. I had Ruga on NS9 Live, and he talked about Machado for about 3 hours and 47 minutes. I think there are a lot of people in Pittsburgh. Let's go back even further. People were talking about, let's get Machado this year. Like, this is the year to do it. Let's get Machado. There's been this hype, and I think a lot of it's been in jest. Most of it from us has been in jest. But now that the whole mystery team comes out, you see all these middle infielders signing. You see how many people less, need a shortstop / third baseman. There's not too many out there, I guess, per se. So could it be the Pirates? Yeah, sure, it could be the Pirates.
Right.
But now that the hype's getting more and more real, people are talking about, and I've seen a lot on Twitter of, well, it makes sense. Like, the Pirates should get Machado. And here's why. Because if they get Machado, they're going to pack PNC Park. Like there's no reason that PNC shouldn't have 30,000 plus every single night with Machado there. And that's why I put this tweet out. So after Wagner cut you over my eyes, the way it was worded, I can see where my faults were. And it's because I said about packing PNC. My thing was the raw number. That is what I was worried about. And that's what Wagner Kutch called me out for at first. He's like, well, what percentage is packed? And Alex Stumpf actually was the first one to mention that. He's like, well, thing is, though, even though there might be 15 in attendance, they're top 10, which they were 10th in percentage of capacity fill.
Yeah.
Like they filled at 80% that year. And I mean, that's a strong number. Again, that ranks 10th in MLB. But what I was trying to get at was the fact that everyone was saying that, of course, it would pack 30,000 every single night. The revenue that you would bring in by packing PNC Park, that it would pay for Machado itself. And that's where my pessimistic side came in, because I figured, listen, if signing Machado is all it's going to take, and this team is going to go out there, and this city is going to pack PNC Park and give 30,000 every single night, I don't think you can get any greater than what 2015 presented. I mean, that was like the perfect storm. You had a team with the second best record in baseball, 98 wins. Like that's a really good number. That's a good amount of wins. That's a good team. And you had an MVP player, Andrew McCutchen, on the team. Like you had per se, Manny Machado. You had that star. And also, like, that was a homegrown star. That's where kids grew up with, and Andrew McCutchen. Now you've really grown to like him. It's not this new guy that has some off-the-field issues like Manny Machado that some people don't want to see because they don't like the guy as a person. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you're going to bring 30,000, you're going to have to at least tie with the perfect storm, 2015. And in 2015, here's where you guys were. Like, you barely got 30,000 a night. And, people will come back, well, it's because it's in Pittsburgh. The stadium is only holding 38,000. And in April and May, there's bad weather, so you don't get that. Well, those factors still play today. Like, that's what I was getting at. Like, the raw number is what I was worried on, because that's what the revenue is going to draw from. So if that's the best Pittsburgh can do, I don't see, after the relationship that this front office is severed with, with the fans, just bringing in Manny Machado with the talent that they have surrounding him, it's going to draw those type of numbers. I'm not saying they're not going to improve. They certainly will. But I don't foresee this like, well, you just have to sign up because the contract's going to be free. The attendance is going to draw and just pays for itself. I don't see it, because I don't see that fan base coming out the way they did in 14 and 15.
I hate you so much. And just to throw it out there, so the capacity of PNC Park officially, according to Wikipedia, is 38,747. So look, the Pirates averaging 30,000 a year in 2015. That's very good. I mean, at this point, with the way the kind of the contentious relationship between the fan base and the team, averaging 30,000 would be. I mean, that's pretty much like the peak at that point. I agree with that. I mean, that was at the height of their 3-year run. That was, 98 games. No, did they win the division? No, they did not. But, geez, they won 98 games. And it was the third most, wins in baseball in those 3-year span. So that was the height. Like, I don't think you're going to see a run like the Indians where in the 90s they were selling out game after game after game after game. My thing's always been with
Louis
and
the Giants.
My thing with attendance has always been the same. I think I don't care if you sign Barry Bonds in his prime, you sign Manny Machado, or you somehow dig up Babe Ruth and get him to play like he's 27 again. You're not going to draw people unless you're winning. I think if you signed Manny Machado, you would draw people initially. Season ticket holders would, obviously go up. You'd get that interest. But if we go into, say, Manny blows out his knee or something and gets hurt in May, and in June the team's 10 under, the interest is gone. It's just the attendance is going to go back down.
Sure, and you're still paying Manny Machado $30 million a year.
Right. So it's one thing if you can come in and say, Manny, for the next 7 years that you sign, we're going to be, winning divisions every single year, going to the playoffs. Then you might get a run 30,000, 34,000, averaging that, and it might sustain it. But if it doesn't, and I mean, we've seen it. It's one guy. Like, does one guy make a team? No. I mean, look at Mike Trout, for God's sakes. He's been the best player in baseball for years. He's been on